Really pleased to say I've been joined post-match today by first-team manager Luke Tuffs and his assistant Jermaine McGlashan. Gentlemen, I don't really know where to start this interview. I know Mick's not here, and in his absence I thought I'd try and fill in for him, but we've just beaten Dorking Wanderers 3-2 in the Advertiser Trophy. And Luke, smile, please smile, because I'm not sure that there were many of us in the ground with the progress that we've seen under you guys, which has been brilliant, by the way, that we would take on a team that's 4 divisions above us, not just compete against them, but actually beat them. So, Luke, let's start with you. I mean, come on, your take on and I don't want you to be modest, okay? I know you normally are.
No, we're not modest. It's realistic. Look, we are. Look, we need to take the boys need to take accolades, and of course there are accolades to be had. But we also need to qualify this. Yes, they were full strength, which is great, and that's a real good test for the boys. And there's going to be lots of different tests, and we come through one today, which we can talk about. But ultimately, we can't get ahead of ourselves. For all of it, they were in gear 3. Realistically, let's be completely honest, and you can't get ahead of yourselves. And we've done brilliantly to beat what was in front of us and how they played and everything. And I think the boys need to take some credit for putting them into that gear themselves, which is really, really good. And obviously, not only did we negate what they were doing, we found ways to hurt them as well. I think before the game, Glash and myself said, look, our first target, looking at what Dorking had done in their other pre-season friendlies as well, was to be in the game at half-time. And they were 4-0 up against Farnborough at half-time, or 4-1 or something. And they're 4-0 up against Hanwell. But our first target is to still be in the game, and this is what we think we need to do do it. But also, there's a lot on the boys where there's going to have to be a lot of problem solving out there as well, which the boys done superbly well, which is how we do it. It is very much a group effort. And we got in the game, and then our next target was, can we be in the game after an hour? And after that, whatever happens, happens. And I think the longer we went and we were still in it, the boys believed, and they started to play with more freedom. And under the baking sun, I thought I'm very, very proud of them, what they did.
So, okay, look, $1 million question here. 15-16 on the clock. We're 2-0 down.
Yes, it's a problem.
And I'm thinking, this is going to be like the last time we played them. I think they were, 3 or 4 at half time, and then they took their foot off the gas and just struggled around in the second half. I mean, what goes through your mind? You're 2-0 down, you're playing at home, and there's that little bit of added pressure, because the last time we played them was at their place, where they had the majority of the crowd. But good turnout, fantastic turnout today, by the way.
Brilliant. Our fan base is incredible.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But does that add a little bit more pressure to you guys?
No.
No. Like I said, I think we're going to come up against teams that come here, lovely pitch, and playing in front of more than what they're probably used to, and they raise their games. I think we're going to have to get used to that, and we'll recruit and look at having, that sort of infrastructure that we're ready for that, and that's the type of characters we're bringing in to be prepared for that. And like the gaffer says, we problem solve, we've managed things, and we change things. At 2-0, there was probably a point, being out there, you're looking around, but that probably was the best thing that happened to us, because after that we started playing. I think straight after that, I'm not sure if that was when the Tarpey shots come, but after that it was like, listen, let's just have an extra pass, we've got them in, and obviously when Tarpey pulled one back, goals change games.
But we did have some chances though as well, didn't we?
Yeah, and that's why I wasn't
that.
too worried. We sort of identified where we thought we went wrong as a management team. And it wasn't panic stations, we understood where they were at, and it was just a matter of us growing into the game, and and we found ways to hurt them, which is what we worked on, and we were better at it second half.
I think certainly from where I watch it from here in the media desk, there were early signs. I think you had a bit of joy down the right hand side in the first half. They've got a big back line, certainly the left back. He's a man mountain, isn't he? He's massive, and you had a little bit of joy against him because you're quick,
yeah.
Don't be nice to
him.
Be
He did say he'd pay me afterwards, mind you. Yeah. No, he is quick, and I could see you asking for that ball over the top, because perhaps you wouldn't want to go 50-50 with him in a tackle, because he is quite a unit, and use your speed, and you did at times, and it almost paid off, certainly in the first half.
I think, to be fair, like the gaffer said it early doors, he said that's where we're going to hurt him, out wide. And even when we was losing the game, when we went in for a water break, it was still reiterating that listen, this is where we're hurting them out wide, and it's just a matter of doing that. And I did have a bit of joy against Cheadle, and he's a good player, I respect him a lot.
Yeah, he's good, yeah.
But I think the boys, to a man, even the boys that come on, everyone started growing into the game, and it's so important. You hear the crowd lift, and it gives you a lift. And we'll need that this season loads. We got it when we come in off the back of last season, and I'm sure they'll be backing us again.
Yeah, and for those that weren't at the game today, that may look at the result and may assume that Dorking have played an under-23 side or a B team side. I was talking to the two media guys up here, Gary and the other chap, and I asked them, I said, look, your starting 11, where does that starting 11 today sit with where your starting 11 would be for next season? And they basically said, that is the starting 11. And even in the second half, there was probably 7 or 8 of the starting 11 in that second half team as well for Dorking. So we haven't beaten the under-23s here. We've beaten Dorking Wanderers first team, and that's what I think you guys should be really, really proud of. And I know you're going to naturally want to play it down, Luke, because that's what you do. And I understand that, and we shouldn't get carried away. But I think also, we haven't had a lot of joy. I hadn't had a lot of fun at this club over the last few years, and we've just won I'm going to say this on camera. We just won a bloody trophy.
First time he's won one.
Is it the first time you've won a trophy?
First trophy. So he owed me that one because he took me. I was with Maidstone halfway through the season, and I come and worked with him. So he owed me that one.
But the Advertiser Trophy makes up for the Conference South playoff medal I ripped from him.
There you go.
So
there you go.
little things that you guys don't know.
And this is the start. So we've got into good practice, hopefully.
Brilliant. Little things that you know. So yesterday there was a discussion around the trophy turning up, and have we got any green and white ribbon? To which, in a sort of WhatsApp group that I'm part of, we all sort of, well, no, we haven't, and there's probably no point going out and getting any, quite frankly. So what I did actually say to somebody is, well, look, I've got a scarf in my car.
Good scarf.
If we happen to beat them, it was a big if yesterday, we'll have to just improvise and use a scarf. And they didn't actually use my scarf in the end, it was someone else. It was a supporters one. I think it's a bit cleaner, but. We were, and that shows really how surprised I think we were. As much as we really do admire and know the great work that you two and the collective behind the team behind you as well, that you've all done since you've come in at the back end of last season, we weren't expecting that result today, and that's why I think we should really enjoy it a lot more than we
will
are.
enjoy it, and the supporters absolutely deserve to enjoy it. The playing group absolutely need to enjoy it. Like I said, it's all about different challenges in life, not just in football. In life, there are a lot of different challenges set, and there's always a way to achieve that challenge. And today the boys did that, which is really good. Obviously, we need to be balanced because look, I've had pre-seasons before. This is why I can't get to it. I am excited. I'm really buzzing for the boys. I'm buzzing for the fan base. And yeah, of course I am. And it's great hearing them singing in there and that. I love it, and I'm so happy. But I've had pre-season friendlies. I've had pre-season before. We've won every single game and then gone lost the first 7 games of the season, including beating teams 2 levels above us 4-0 on their own patch. Yeah. So, look, we do need to have a little bit of balance. We do need to, again, know that however good they are, they probably weren't at full tilt. They did their best, of course they did. But in a competitive fixture, they might have got that little bit extra adrenaline or whatnot. They might have that little bit extra sharpness. We have to be aware of that, because the second you get too ahead of yourselves, you achieve nothing. You achieve nothing. So look, yes, we are going to enjoy it. We're going to have a few good drinks this evening, and rightfully so, as are the fan base. But then, and again, tomorrow we're going to be well rested. But then as a whole club, as a collective, supporters, player group, management group, there's a line under it, and we're going again.
And I think from Mark's perspective as well, he's going to look at that, Dan. That's probably a little bit of a ready reckoner for him. So he'll look at that and think, actually, we're just about to go into the National League, which is a very, very competitive league. And in a strange way, he'll probably take some positives out of that result today and go away and actually realise that perhaps we do need in certain areas to make changes or to resharpen, refocus, retrain. And he will do that, because
he's a superb manager. He's a great manager, and it's great being in the same position.
Their rise to where they are is nothing short of phenomenal. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely phenomenal. So today, there has been some questions that I know that we've been asked over the internet, and I'm not going to throw you any curveballs in an interview. But
if you do, aim them at him. He's trained. He does me for uni.
I mean, so where are we on players? And I know Mick's touched on this a little bit. So officially signed players at this moment in time.
We're in a good place. We've got the vast majority done. We're after 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
And we kind of know who they are. Whether we can get them or not, we're not sure. We know we're in a certain position we need to strengthen, and we're going to do our absolute best to remedy that by the start of the season. But otherwise, we think we're done.
Just get a new winger. If they get one to replace me, and I think we're nearly there.
Just get a hamstring to replace his hammy. He's fine.
Yeah. No, we're in a good place. Like I say, we talk about recruitment all the time. We're always looking at things. Like you say, Mark will learn things today, and we will as well. I think a big positive is I think that's the penultimate before their they go into their league. So I think they might have Horsham next.
I think they've got one more game,
Yeah,
haven't they?
so you know they're not far away from where they need to be.
Yeah.
And I think, like I say, we can take loads.
They'll probably take it out on Horsham, to be fair.
Maybe, yeah. So like I say, we'll look back on it and where we can improve. We always want to, even in these games. But loads of positives.
So today's team, the starting 11 and some of the lads that you brought on as well. So are we talking about thereabouts that sort of the
Yeah,
team?
we think they're thereabouts.
Because there was some new. Listen, I was getting
Well,
asked
obviously,
some
as you
questions.
saw, there's a couple of names out there that will definitely start for us that are injured and whatnot. That
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd have noticed, and
Yeah.
which is actually great when you think that we didn't even have everyone out there, and
Yeah.
especially in a couple in really key positions.
Yeah.
But what it has done is it's given a really good opportunity to some young local lads still in their teenage years to have a go against a full-time professional football club and do really well. And the fact that one of them nicks up and pops up a goal in front of their home fans in the 80th minute, do you know what? Good for them.
That's what it's about.
Good
Yeah.
for them.
It's about,
Yeah,
you said the parents.
That's what we're after.
Well, I had to announce it was number 16 because that's all I had. I just had that from the back of his shirt, and then I think his parents were standing down just in front of me, and they
He's
turned
signed,
around
by the way.
and they span. Oh, right, okay. So
They're all
we'll
signed.
save that one, and we'll announce that one. But we'll we'll start announcing players in the next 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah, when we're
Yeah.
I think so.
So the
yeah, there's no pressure on us, but they'll
No,
be out.
absolutely. But
No one else is.
but fans are asking. So just for the fans' point of view.
DM me, and I'll let you know everything you want to know. It's true. It's
But
true.
so we will start announcing over the next
We
few
will.
weeks.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you're
no,
happy
we
with what you're. This isn't.
Oh yeah, no.
I think-
probably one or two away. Like
I'm
that.
very secretive.
You are very secret. You play your cards very close to your chest, don't you?
Yeah, no, we will before it starts. But like I say,
That's
come
fine.
down. If you can come down, you can have a look at maybe what we're working with. That's the advice I'd give you.
Anyone
Come
who's
and
here
watch
today
us.
knows you're.
Well, I'll tell you
On a
what.
Tuesday night, fancy it. Come down,
I don't even know
invite
where
60
Hungerford
more.
is.
So I didn't know what it was when we agreed to it.
Look, from what I would say to you, gentlemen, from what I've seen, that performance today was fantastic. Whether it was an under par Dorking Wanderers or what, it doesn't really matter. You can only beat and play the team that you're playing against, and I thought you did extremely well. I think the new players that were on show today, the potential new signings, if they're going to be with us, did well. I think the established players did well. What was quite interesting, actually, someone asked me, and I said, in the second half, there was only one player that was with us last season playing, and that was Aaron. No, sorry, it was Max Worsfold on the wing. Every other player on the pitch
That's a good point. No,
didn't play last season.
So we are working behind the scenes, as you can see. There's a lot going on, a lot of change.
Well, that's encouraging because
Very encouraging,
you've clearly brought people in. That at some stage we're going to let the fans know who they are, and I fully understand why. At this stage, we're not going to do that. But it's good because what we can just reassure the fans at this stage is that there's no panic signing here. We had a lot of that at the beginning of last season, and literally 3/4 of the way through the season until you two guys arrived, there was a lot of signings, and I think that's we almost got to a stage where it was like a revolving door. But you can see if what you've got out there today is what's going to be representing us next season. I think
We should be in around at least the top half.
we're in for a good season, aren't we?
Competitive, yes.
We'll be competitive.
Playing it down again, aren't you? Right, okay. So, gentlemen, listen, thank you very much. Please enjoy it.
Thank
because in my 6 years of being involved with this club, that's the first time we have won anything in
the club,
the
the
6
club
years.
first
So, fantastic for you two, a great achievement. Fantastic for the players that are out there and gave a really good shift today. And brilliant for the club. And guess what? We've got a trophy now we can put behind the bloody bar.
There we go. I might sleep with that one tonight. I might take it home.
Brilliant.
All right,
Gentlemen, thank you very much. You
Cheers,
take care.
welcome.
I'll
Take
see you
care.
soon.
Cheers,
bye-bye.
Thanks, gents.
Bye bye.
Let's